According to the latest report released by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, 85% of Ugandans are engaged in both subsistence and non-subsistence work, while only 42.5% of Ugandans are in the employment sector, a number which has significantly reduced from 47.6%, which was recorded in the year 2017. This report, which was carried out in all the districts of Uganda, targeted Ugandans in the workforce between the ages of 14 to 64. It also indicates that only 55% of the population, which is 23 million, are employable.
But there are a number of characteristics that relate to this population which is employed, but also the other population which is not employed. For example, unemployment rate, which is at 12%. Now, this is the population that would actually want to work, but they cannot find work. And that percentage is about 12, which is actually high. It's something that needs to be reduced.
Because when more people are employed in the informal sector, it means that they don't have records. Probably many of them are not saving. They don't have bank accounts. Many of them are employing people, employing kinsmen and kinswomen and relatives in whatever they are doing. You have very little record of what they are generating in terms of value, in terms of wealth.
The findings indicate that 50% of the employed Ugandans earn less than Uganda shillings 200,000. This is coupled with poor working conditions, with only 23% being provided with protective gears at work, while only 18% of the employers remit NSSF benefits for their employees.
Not all employers have registered and have willing to give information about the workers that they employ. Now that makes it very difficult to follow them up and enforce these kind of standards. So we should use this evidence to review our own inspection strategies.
The fellow who hires has an upper hand. But with time, this is going to change. First of all, with the time, when we attract more investors and so on, you will find that the salaries, the unions will demand salaries. You don't give them the salaries, they will lay their tools, and you will have no choice. But as of now, if you laid your tool, someone else would take your job. So it is the situation we are in now, but it's a temporary situation.
These findings have been described as a game changer by officials from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development.
The statistics are showing you the realities, and these realities enable you to evaluate, to know whether you are on the right path or not. But the statistics in themselves per se are not a solution.
It's a wake-up call, but it also gives us a systematic way of collecting data, which UBOS has now done, which data should be fed back into the various programs of government, into the various sectors of government. We've seen that there is an increase.
The report also touches on the issue of increased child labor, which is also a contentious issue.
This is work that actually hinders the child's normal growth because it affects them emotionally, psychologically, in many ways. And this rate was 40%. This is high, and this is something that needs to be worked on, to be lowered.
The only way you can delay their getting into employment when they are underage is keeping them longer in school. If they are in school, they are able to get education, they are skilled. Probably by the time they get into the labor market, they have capacity to achieve much more than they would if they were engaged at a lesser age.
As government, child labor is criminal, and we don't condone it. Like now is to improve on monitoring and evaluation so that we identify these people, and whoever is involved in it will be criminal and will be prosecuted. So this is an area where we can't tolerate, because the future of these children is embedded in education.
A key point highlighted in the report is the revelation that 60% of Ugandans who are currently employed have gotten jobs through the people who know them, such as relatives and friends. Ramson Mhire, CTV PM Edition.